Okay, I'm live again, and let's see if this works. It's Monday. This is from Monday, Adar 20th of Adar. The man service of Hashem, Tissa. It's read once a year, and we learn from the Parsha that a Jew is given strength to do Alef through Tet, the whole thing. One wakes up from the sleep and becomes a new creation. So every day, wakes up from sleep, you become a new creation. You say Modeh Ani. The Alef, beginning of the Yid's Avoda, is Bitul, the submissiveness to Hashem, the ego deflation, the self-nullification, the Bitul of Hashem, thanking Hashem, Modeh Ani, thanking Hashem. The Alef, the Anochi, Ani is Modeh Ani. You say thanks, Modeh, first before you say Ani, that I exist. It should be the opposite, but we say thank you first, showing the appreciation for Hashem. Modeh Ani lefanecha, Anochi of Hashem. The Alef, the connection between the Yid and Hashem. The letter Alef, the two Yud separated by a line, and the simplicity of a Yid, thanking Hashem, and it's higher than any name. All Jews, even small kids, say Modeh Ani. And before you say the I, you say thank you to Hashem, the Modeh. After I exist, you can do something, but you don't say the I, you say Modeh, say thank you. And you bring this appreciation into your mundane experiences of the world, bringing into your work day this appreciation of Hashem into mundane experiences. After I exist, you can do something, but you don't say the I, you say Modeh, you say thank you first. The Yid's so connected to Hashem, first thank you, Hashem, Modeh. And then you go to shul to learn, to daven, and then to learn Torah, and starts the Alef of Hashem, and the best is the work till evening. Go from shul to the Beis Medrash to study, and then to work, and through the day you do the ways of the world, your business, and the best. Then conclusion of the day is the Gimel. Conclusion of the day is the Gimel. At the end of the day, you complete your work for that day. You make a calculation of all you have accomplished through the day. And the Gimel is Aravis, the Mari prayer. Indeed, the righteous will extol your name. You offer thanks to Hashem. The conclusion, thanking Hashem in the Kriyat Shema, but at night, I entrust my spirit into your hand, and saying the Kriyat Shema at night. This generation is the last in Galus, the first in Gula. And all work has been done prior till now. The work is completed. It's concluded. Last to do, the end of conclusion of the Avoda is to bring Geula, the Gimel, in actuality, beginning to the end. The first is the Alef, the Ani, connected to Hashem. The whole world was created for the sake of the Yidden. Moshe Rabbeinu, the Frierdiker Rebbe, the leader of the generation. You have the first Luchos, the second Luchos, and the shining face of Moshe. Okay, and then from today is Vayak'hel. The 25th of Adar, Alef, from the 1992 Sichos. And Vayak'hel is connected with Pekudei, which is the next week's Parsha. This year is a separate. Pekudei and Vayak'hel are separate, but sometimes they're said together. So the service of Hashem, the deeper meaning is man's divine service. Man was created to serve my Creator. General serving Hashem, Vayak'hel and Pekudei. And the meaning of Vayak'hel is, and he gathered. And it states how Moshe gathered the Jewish people and told them a message. So Vayak'hel is to gather, to serve their Creator. The unity of things, everyone working for the same goal. The love and unity among the Jewish people. So you have this achdus, the love and unity among the Jewish people. And not just among the Jewish people, but among all the 70 nations, the nations of the world, everyone in Mashiach consciousness, We might say it's just Jews, but it's actually all people, all men. The lovingness and the when we see another person suffering, no matter if it's Jew or non-Jew, we all feel that pain. We all feel his suffering. So it's all one, the oneness in the Mashiach consciousness. So the unity of things, Vayak'hel Pekude, and he gathered, how Moshe gathered the Jewish people and told them the message to serve their creator, the unity of things. Everyone is working for the same goal, the love and unity among the Jewish people. Pekude is next week. Pekude is to count, or numbers, to count the donations of the material for the Mishkan. So they counted the numbers of the donations for the Mishkan. And the goal is to serve Hashem. And the unique novelty regarding each idea, how that serves Hashem, each specific idea of serving Hashem, and the general avoda of everything together serving Hashem. Then the specific each thing, the role of why it was created. Each individual thing, you think about the role of why each individual thing was created to serve Hashem, and how the whole together they serve Hashem. Each is Vayak'hel, things for itself, the unity of the Jewish people. You don't have to wait for this unity. You don't have to wait for it all to come together. You don't have to wait for it all to come together. You could begin the Mashiach consciousness, the Mashiach now, serving Hashem now. So you bring everything together. It's here for the same general purpose, the Achdus, the unity among the Jewish people. And we have to care for all people. You have to look at all people as your brother, not just Jewish people. That, all people, all human beings as your brother, as a part of you, has that divine spark. And the Achdus, the unity among the Jewish people, Adar, Purim, Nisan, the second week of Nisan, and 1 week before Nisan, and 2 weeks before Nisan, you say a special parsha, and you add this special parsha. It's read in addition to the normal Torah portion of the week. And this week it's Shekalim, so it's one portion. It's read. The half shekel talks about the half shekel towards the base of Mikdash, the unity connection to the Shekalim, the parsha, the half coin, the full shekel. Full shekel is 20 gera, so it says half shekel. It should say 10 gera, since a shekel is 20 gera. A half shekel should be 10 gera. So why does it say half shekel instead of saying a full 10 gera? Why didn't it say 10 gera? It makes a point to say, it changes it and says instead of half a shekel, instead of saying 10 gera, it says half a shekel. It shows the Achdus, the unity among the Jewish people. Two halves have to come together to make a whole. So you need two half shekels to make a whole shekel. We need two yids to come together, or Hashem and the yid to come together to make a whole, or not just two yids to come together, but the whole world to come together, all people to come together for this Achdus, this whole. The two half shekels become a whole. The yids come together. They unite with all Jews. Love your fellow as yourself. That's a very important thing that we say every morning in our prayers. Love your fellow as you would love yourself. And you could also interpret that as you have to love yourself in order to love your fellow. So you have to have that love for yourself in order to love your fellow. And Jews close to you as well as a Jew on the other side of the world. So you have to love the Jew that's your neighbor close to you as well as a Jew that would be on the other side of the world. Each Jew is a piece of God. So the essence of Hashem, you grab onto some of it, but it actually grabbing onto the whole thing. Each part is the whole. So even though it's one piece of, each Jew has a piece of God, you have the whole God, you have the whole piece. The whole God is in every person. Each part is the whole. Love every Jew. Even if you have to tell a Jew that he has to work on himself, that he's not doing something right, you tell him in a loving manner. You tell him in a nice way, in a peaceful way. Even if you're telling him he's not acting properly, you tell him in a peaceful way. So this achdus, this love for your fellow Jew, and the shekalim, the connection to the shekalim that's read, the Vayak'hel, the achdus, the world and the Jewish people, man and Hashem, and man and Hashem, and man to man, the Jewish people together, the achdus, the unity, bringing two half shekels together, the yid and the yid, and the yid and Hashem. The half is the Jew and half is Hashem, come together and make a whole. Also talks about the 10 gera, or the 20 gera could also be compared to the 10 spheros. Hashem is enclosed, the Jew, in 10 faculties of the soul, the 10 spheros, which is 20, which is 10 and 10, makes up the 20 of the shekel. So the 10 also applies to the spheros. And how to apply the spheros in your day-to-day life. I'm learning about. I'm reading a book, the 13-Petaled Rose, and it's talking about the spheros. It's helped me understand Kabbalah and this language. I'm just a novice at this. I'm learning more here every day. And Vayak'hel is the general avoda, here to serve Hashem. Vayak'hel, general avoda, here to serve Hashem, of the general, equal, and specific. So you have the specific and the general, and all of it together. The first thing when a Jew wakes up, he says Modeh Ani. The first general avoda is Modeh Ani. When he first wakes up, he starts with Modeh Ani, not I, but thanking Hashem, saying Modeh first. The bittul, the submissiveness to Hashem. It should be obvious, but there's should be no need to emphasize it. But we say this every morning: I am here before Hashem. What will I do about that service? What will I do today about that service to serve Hashem, the Modeh? Not just to wake up from sleep, sleeping all night. Not just wake up from sleep, but waking up and becoming aware, becoming conscious of your role in this world to do Torah and mitzvahs, and to wake up from your sleep, which is your sleep at night, going to bed, but also from your sleep and rest to wake up and with a strong heart of a lion to go up and learn Torah and do mitzvahs and connect with Hashem, connect with holiness. So wake up from the sleep, know that we are one with Hashem, Hashem's essence. Vayak'hel, we are one with Hashem, our neshama. Vayak'hel, unity among the Jewish people, the ingathering of the exiles of the Jews in Israel. So we could see the Rebbe was saying that back in 1992, he saw like no other time the ingathering of the Jews to Eretz Yisrael, Eretz HaKodesh, many Jews making Aliyah more than in previous generations. Even the Rebbeim themselves, they didn't go to Israel except the Frierdiker Rebbe. Many of the Rebbeim didn't even go to Israel. They not even to visit. But the Frierdiker Rebbe visited. Usually, he would have visited the holy resting places in his country. But the Frierdiker Rebbe was kicked out of Russia, and he couldn't go to the Rebbeim's resting places, and he went to Israel. So even the Rebbeim, most of the Rebbeim didn't go to Israel. But today, lots of Jews are able to go to Israel to visit and also to make Aliyah. And so Vayak'hel, the ingathering of the Jewish people, is happening in reality today. So 1992 is the year of wonders in everything, the wonders of Mashiach. So even he said, in 1992, the wonders of Mashiach is here. The wonders of Mashiach, the wonders of everything in this year. How to bring it into action. So how do we actually bring this into action today? The donations of the Beis Hamikdash, add in giving tzedakah. So he said, the Rebbe said, we have to add in giving tzedakah, which will bring about, speed up the geula and add to this Mashiach consciousness. So normally you say you add a tenth of what you earn, a tenth of your earnings you give to tzedakah, and maybe he said even a fifth of everything you have, everything you earn. Maybe you give everything to tzedakah, everything you have you give to tzedakah. Said in this Sicha, he said the Sicha on Shabbos. So how are you going to give tzedakah on Shabbos? You're not supposed to carry money and give tzedakah on Shabbos. So how do you give tzedakah on Shabbos? So he said, you make a decision. You make a decision that I'm going to give tzedakah after Shabbos is over. Make a decision, so you can make the decision during Shabbos, and that is a step in the right direction. And on Shabbos, you can give food and drink. You're not necessarily giving money, but on Shabbos, you can give food and drink. And you could talk about how you should give. How you should give. You learn from this parsha the half shekel, the giving of the half shekel, to communal offerings. The offerings of the karbanos. Use the half shekel for the karbanos. Man, use the half shekel for the karbanos. You should give. Learn from this parsha the half shekel to communal offerings, the karbanos used for the half shekel for karbanos. Man, when he will offer from you, the tzedakah should come from you. The korban is close to Hashem from you. You give to Hashem, give from you the half shekel, and learn how to give tzedakah. So learning how to give tzedakah in the proper way, it's a lesson. And you give tzedakah, we are actually totally into it. You have to be totally into it and immersed in this giving of tzedakah, totally into it with all the 10 faculties of your nefesh, the 10 spheres, the faculties of your nefesh, thinking and speaking about it. And it'll speed up the geula, the giving of the tzedakah, us to do it. And you have the give Hashem tzedakah and the gathering of all Jews together, this big congregation to Eretz Yisrael. In gathering of all the Jews making Aliyah to Eretz Yisrael. Okay, and also I have here some my own Kedushim that the Torah Chadash Amiti Torah Chadash Amiti Teitzeh. You have to be the unity inside yourself. Then you have to feel the unity in the world. So first you have to have that unity, have that pureness and oneness within yourself in order to spread it into the world. Unite the unity, you send out the vibration. You yourself send out the vibration into the world. So each person feels this peace within themselves, and then you spread this unity into the world. This oneness, this inner peace. Let's see, let's take a little sip. Okay, so then the world will reflect back what your mirror. The world is your reflect back what, not that the other sources in the world are you're like a slave, that you're giving out what the sources in the world, just giving out what the sources show to you, but what you are reflects back into the world. What your vibration goes out, when we reflect, you're like a mirror, you send out into the world. So the world is your mirror, and there's nothing but God. There's nothing outside you. The whole world is your reflection. So you have to, I had to sacrifice certain things in my life, my ego, sacrifice my certain things in order to get closer to Hashem. So sacrifice the doctor thing to get closer to Hashem. It's a korbanos. Come closer to Hashem. You sacrifice the animal soul. Your primitive animal soul only wants his desires to be met. So my primitive animal soul only wants my desires, my wants, my needs. But you have to sacrifice your own ego and ego deflation in order to come closer to Hashem. And you elevate the animal soul. You let go of the codependency, go into the oneness. The layers of the external self have to be let go of. So your external layers have to be let go of. Your consciousness, the external layers of self have to be let go of, and you strip down to your pure essence to serve Hashem properly. So I'm just going to say that I feel that this Hasidus is accessible to in many different ways, and we have the tools, and by stripping away these layers of ego, we can make these the Hasidus accessible to people, and you could study this Hasidus and become closer to Hashem. And that's all I had really prepared. It's 20 minutes so far. And just want to say that thank you for listening. And I hopefully continue studying my Sichos of the Rebbe, even though the Rebbe had a stroke shortly after this. He gave over the Sichos. Was one of the last Sichos we had, very powerful Sicha that we have, edited Sicha of the Rebbe. And hopefully we're going to see the Rebbe again with have more Sichos from the Rebbe. But I think I'm going to continue studying 1991, go back to what we have available, the Sichos of the Rebbe. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for listening, and have a good night. Shalom.